Welcome to the Mental Health Militia News, where I am your host, Chabol, here with his co-host, Mr. Munster. Thank you, Mr. Munster. Today in the news, we have a doozy. But before we get into that, I must mention a disclaimer. Yes, a news station that comes with a warning. Why? Because we care that the information we give you might be fire. But it turns out it is me, Mr. Munster, Ronan, Georgia Cracker, and Six Fingers gathering it, producing it, writing it, and delivering it. So it could be a hit piece and blow up in your face, just like this gentleman. So please be prepared. But why do we do this? Because we are sitting in the great media war of 2021, where two fools like me and Mr. Munster try to sit here and gather information to show you a shadow war that some people say doesn't exist. Moving on from the great media war of 2021 to, yes, as we are starting to understand who Chabot is a very grateful person. I would like to thank the person who donated a large portion of money to the MHM News, and he will turn around and try to make the MHM News great again. Who are we kidding? The MHM News was never great to begin with, but we will definitely buy Old Lady Misery some flowers and turn around and definitely make the MHM News great for once. Moving on from who Chabot is to, yes, the opening quote with your MHM News. I worked my dick off for this appointment. Admiral Rachel Levin. Moving on from the opening quote to, yes, the opening story in your MHM News. Durham assumed parts of John Huber's Clinton Foundation review source. Aspects of U.S. Attorney John Huber's investigation into the Clinton Foundation has been assumed by U.S. Attorney John Durham as part of his review into the origins of the Russian probe, Fox News has learned, and so has the MHM News. Yes, we see here they are going through the findings, and will this be the time that they find out that Hillary Clinton was the source of their information? I think so. Maybe. Who knows? Let's find out. Moving on from the opening story to the sick world news with your MHM News. Russia slaps Google with massive turnover fine up to 240 million as Google refused to remove banned content. Russia steps up and is slapping them first with an early $458,000 earlier, and now stepping up and saying that they will start slapping them with heavier, deeper fines. Moving on from the sick world news to, yes, the sex crimes section with your MHM News. To busted, Bill Gates caught sending inappropriate emails to Microsoft employees. Yes, we see here that when you have so much money, you think you can drop into anybody's inbox. When you have Donald Trump's money, you could just walk up and just grab him by the whoo. But well, you see here that this man thinks he could have got away with as much stuff as possible, but we see these people flipping the script on Bill Gates and hopefully bringing him down in his new Me Too movement. Moving on from the news to, yes, you shut your mouth, we'll bomb who we want. It's war propaganda. Moving on to, yes, Israel approves 1.5 billion budget for potential strike on Iran. The funds nearly $1 billion in this year's budget and over $500 million in 2022 will reportedly go towards aircraft's intelligence gathering and dedicated arrangements that can enable an attack on Iran's nuclear program. Armaments. Yes, we see here that could they be gearing up for a potential strike on Iran? I don't know, because I think Iran's preparing for a potential strike on Israel. Moving on from the news to, yes, welcome to America, bitches, with your MHM News. To breaking, Governor DeSantis of Florida announces that Florida's ports are open and will set up to ease the backlog of ships in New York and California, contributing to the supply chain crisis. Listen, Mr. Ron DeSantis, I'd like to thank you for stepping up, but what you don't see here is that those states are blue states and they want nothing to do with your red state. So we are only going to go see them figure out a way how to not bring stuff to your ports. They're going to be pulling excuses out of their back pocket. They're going to be like, yep, Florida's too far. Yep, we can't afford to make it there because we're running low on fuel. Yep, we don't want to go there because you are a red state. Yes, you will see them pulling excuses out of their pockets. Moving on to the bootstraps, Biden administration asks U.S. Supreme Court to block Texas abortion law. Yes, you see here that the Biden administration is calling up Texas and telling them you should not block abortions because people should have abortions. By you blocking them, it is crimes against humanity. And Texans is like, listen, having abortions is crimes against humanity. And they say, no, blocking them is crimes against humanity. So who is right? The side that God is on is right. And having abortions is crimes against humanity. Moving on from the news, because a heartbeat is a heartbeat. Moving on to, yes, backing the blue with your MHM news. SCOTUS hands police huge wins. Protect cops from lawsuit in 2 qualified immunity cases. Yes, you see here that the police have a job to do, and if you get in the way and you happen to get yourself hurt, then these officers are not responsible because you put yourself there. Or I don't know, but I didn't read the article completely, even after when I thought immunity cases meant that you got the virus and you were cool in your immunity, until somebody explained to me and I was like, oh my gosh, it makes so much sense now. I need to read some more. Moving on from the news to, yes, the gender wars section with your MHM news. Mr. Munson wants to know why we have a gender war section. No, he figured it out. He said because it's funny. Moving on from the news to, yes, the momentous occasion, Rachel Levine sworn in as first openly transgender 4-star admiral. Yes, we see here that how is this person even in the military? Because doesn't the government own your body? So if they own your body, why are they letting you dress like a woman when you have a penis in between your legs? I don't know. Mr. Munson thinks it's all part of the movie to piss you off. Ooh, when I'm steaming. Moving on from the news to, yes, how can I not help you in the tech support with your MHM news? To Facebook unveils U.S. state election features targeting misinformation and voter suppression. Facebook claims it will use independent fact checkers to review and rate potential false content about upcoming U.S. state elections on its platform, despite past criticisms about apparently not taking strong enough action against Trump supporters. Yes, you see here that they told us weeks ago or days ago that they were going to do better at the job of not allowing information to get deleted. We see here that they are hiring more people to delete more true information. Moving on from the news to, yeah, they're going to swing it. They're going to try to swing it again. To, yes, Trump's website disrupted by Turkish hackers. A hacker group appears to have hit the former active president's website, replacing a section with a slogan praising Allah and a speech from Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. Yes, we see here that these people, for some reason, still have a vendetta against our president, and they'll get theirs. Moving on from the news to, yes, you've reached the funny money section with your MHM news. New York Attorney General clamps down on crypto platforms. The Block reports it's Nexo and Celsius. New York Attorney General Loretta James has sent cease and desist letters to two leading crypto lending platforms and demanded further information from three more, with redacted letters appearing to show Nexo and Celsius as two of the targets, according to the Block. Yes, what we're seeing here is, as these crypto exchanges are making more money than the central bank is putting out, they are trying to crack down on these cryptocurrency exchanges as much as possible. But why is it legal in one state but not legal in another state to just send information? But we see here that these people might have to move to another state to get their company back up and running. Moving on from the news. Yes, the top 1% in the U.S. now holds more wealth than all of the middle class. Well, if that is the case, then there is no more middle class. There is just two classes. There is a lower class and a higher class. Moving on from the news. Yes, wealth inequality. Richest 10% of Americans own 89% of the U.S. stocks. The top 1% incredibly gained more than $6.5 trillion in corporate entities and mutual fund wealth during the COVID-19 pandemic, while the bottom 90% added $1.2 trillion, according to the latest data from the Federal Reserve. Yes, we see here, as their plan went accordingly to strip us of our wealth to give them their wealth. So good job for your plan. But our President Donald Trump had an even bigger, better plan. Moving on from the news to, yes, crimes against humanity with your MHM news. You got to keep your head on a swivel like an owl. You got to be like, woohoo, woohoo, all this crimes against humanity going over there. Ooh, it's against the Democrats, so we got to be up. Yes, we do not protect the Democrats when crimes against humanity is happening against them. No. We protect all, man, as long as they come to our side and take on Jesus Christ as their Savior. Moving on from the news to, yes, military, federal employees, and civilian contractors sue bootstraps Biden administration. Yes, you see here that they do not want to take the vaccine mandate, but we have figured in our roundtable discussion that the military owns your body if you are service in the military, and if you are a contractor, you most likely may be able to get away with not getting a jabberoonie. Moving on from the news to, yes, Pentagon faces class action lawsuit over vacation mandates on military, federal employees, and contractors. Yes, you see here is they are getting a lawyer to pull all these administrations into court to see if they can stop this jabberoonie in its tracks. Moving on from the news to, yes, Eric Prince, New York ready to make arrest in Anthony Weiner case. Blackwater Foundation, the former Navy SEAL Eric Prince told the Barrett News Daily on a Sirius XM that, according to one of his well-placed sources in the New York Police Department, the NYPD wanted to do a press conference announcement, the warrants and the additional arrests they were making in the Anthony Weiner investigation, but received huge pushback from the Justice Department. Yes, we see here that the photograph that was probably taken from Mr. Weiner was from a suspect's cell phone that was underage, so we might be committing a crime looking at this photo. But we see here that, is this going to be the crime, the arrest heard around the world? No, but I hope to see this man in jail along with his wife and that lady in yellow she's standing next to. Moving on from the news to yes, fraud, scams, and lies could target you. So protect yourself, people. You answer your phone. Be like, I don't even own a car. I ride a bike. So how do I even have a car extended warranty? Click. Yes, moving on from the news to Bill and Boris, UK partners with Gates in 40 million green investment package. Yes, you see here that Boris Johnson is laying in bed with Bill Gates because supposedly the UK couldn't come up with their portion of the Green New Deal, so hopefully he steps up and does the same thing for the United States of America. No, 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 no. It's all fraud, scams, and lies to target you. Moving on from the news to yes, it's the economy, stupid. We see here that the civil war that is brewing on in the world, it is the people that want to stop the spread of the virus compared to the people that want to protect the economy. And as we all meet in the middle, we all stand divided. We just need to convince the people that the spread is not existent and they should most likely take off their mask and stop the jabberoonie. Moving on from listen, and a civil war in the United States would never happen because the right side has the guns and the left side wants to defund the police, but now they're going to need the police to protect them. Moving on from the news to yes, Loudoun County prosecutors who sought to jail father of girl allegedly sexually assaulted at school tied to Soros. McAlefee. Loudoun County Commonwealth's attorney Beulah Beretta, I slaughtered that, who sought jail time against Scott Smith after his June school board meeting arrest, has ties to progressive mega donor George Soros and Democratic Virginia Guber National nominee Terry McAuliffe. Yeah. We definitely slaughtered everything to do with that. Yes, we see here that Chabot has definitely got to pick up his reading skills and will do better in the news. But George Soros has his pocket and everything to make sure his agenda is constantly pushed through. Because if you don't know what this story is it about a young girl being sexually assaulted in a bathroom by a boy wearing a dress thinking he's a girl, but felt his little jammer get hard and knew he had to use it on a female. So what does that tell you? Moving on from the news, fraud, scams, and lies could target you, so protect yourself, people. Moving on to, yes, Scott's Gottlieb on the left is the former FDA commissioner in charge of regulating Pfizer. On the right is the current member of the board of directors of Pfizer. Yes, what we see here is the people that used to sit on the board working for the United States, they turn around to work for these corporations to understand how to get around the laws that they used to protect. Moving on from the news to yes, the border section jumpers in your MHM news. Sorry, everybody, it's 1:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm slipping here. To yes, 16,000 Rona migrants released into the U.S. by ICE to avoid increased detained population. Yes, you see that as they are sitting here gathering people up, they just figured they might as well let them go because they have way too many people to control as it is. So we see here that there are more than 16,000 people even being detained. So why not just let them go into the country and see what happens next? You're going to have to round them up sooner or later anyway. Moving on, just ship them back. Moving on from the news to, gosh, if you made it this far, God bless you. You made it to the veteran section of your MHM news. And this goes back to the Durham report. This is Q drop 4747, bigger than you could imagine. More than selling state secrets, more than selling U.S. security, more than selling military technology, more than selling CIA assets, more than selling NSA bulk data collection programs. more than selling uranium, more than selling space national security programs and positions, more than selling U.S. administrations, more than selling SAPs. Yes, this is all crimes against humanity. We see here that it has been a war against humanity, and the silent war continues. Moving on from the news to God bless you if you made it this far. I didn't want to make it this far. That is all for now from the Mental Health Militia News. Mr. Munster and Chabul. God bless you and yours. Have a good one. Holla Chabul. Two fingers. Gosh, that reading was despicable. Despicable. I do good reading. I really do. And I skim read. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie at all. Skim read the hell out of everything. I just know the nutshell. Da 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 da.